guys, Logan here, and happy Halloween to each and every one of you. I hope you have a great Halloween night to spend, no matter what you do, going out trick-or-treating, or watch some horror movies on Halloween night in your couch at your home, or anything else you do on Halloween night. I hope you have fun, because you really need it. Anyway, for tonight, I'm going to be reviewing one of the new releases in the month of October, which is Halloween 2018, directed by David Gordon Green and stars Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. This is her reprising her role as Laurie Strode from the original 1978 John Carpenter horror classic, which I recently watched for the first time, and I loved it. It was a very timeless classic horror film. Just the type of horror film that has really stood the test of time and still hold up from the technicality standpoint, to the cinematography standpoint, to the story and character and music standpoint, which, by the way, John Carpenter does the score for his original film, Halloween, and the score, immaculate. I love it. The story for this film takes place 40 years since Laurie Strode survived a vicious attack from Michael Myers on Halloween night, and locked up in an institution, Michael Myers manages to escape when his bus transfer goes horribly wrong, and Laurie Strode now faces a terrifying showdown when Michael Myers returns to Haddonfield, Illinois, but this time, she's ready for him. This was a relatively fine direct sequel to the original Halloween film. Is it a great film? No, there are a lot of issues that I have with this film. This is not a great film. I would say some people are saying that it's great, and I don't really think that way. I think this film is just fine for what it is, and I kind of liked it to a certain extent. But still in all, this was a relatively decent film. I enjoyed half of it, and I really didn't enjoy half of it. There are certain moments, especially with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, especially in the second half of the movie, that I actually really enjoyed. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic as Laurie Strode. She's absolutely terrific in this movie. She plays the Laurie Strode who is older now. She is in her 50s or 60s, and she spends the last 40 years preparing for Michael Myers in his return to come to Laurie Strode and kill her. And she's been setting up all these booby traps and ammunitions in preparation for his return. She was very prepared. Michael Myers, once again, is terrifying ever since the original film. Now, again, I have not watched any of the Halloween sequels / remakes involving Michael Myers in the whole Halloween franchise, but this is the first sequel that I've watched that pay tributes to the original horror Halloween film to a certain extent. This film, I will say, pay respects to the original film in regards to some callbacks that I thought were actually kind of cool. And the confrontations between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers in the second half of this movie, that was when I thought the movie got even better and better and better. So the second half I enjoyed more than I enjoyed in the first half, because the first half for me is what this movie faltered on, especially on a lot of things. The characters were very bland and forgettable. And guys, I gotta say, the opening scene in this film was very forgettable and very disappointing. And it's really sad to say that, because the opening scene in the original film, I just rewatched it. The opening scene was very intense and very suspenseful. Just the way that Michael Myers there was like this POV shot of Michael Myers at a childlike age going up to his sister's bedroom, and you see her sister without a bra, and he was like killing her and all that stuff. And it was like a very intense and suspenseful scene. The opening scene really is like a setup to what Michael Myers is going to be throughout that entire film. This film has a very bland opening scene that really didn't set the tone for this film in the right way. But my biggest problem with this movie is that it has a complete lack of focus on the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers story. This film, throughout the majority of its runtime, focuses more on some of the side plots with many of the characters that are not Laurie Strode or Michael Myers. And those side plots really don't even matter. I didn't care so much for the characters that are not Laurie Strode or Michael Myers. I don't even care about the side plots that have nothing to do with Laurie Strode or Michael Myers. I was just hoping that after rewatching the original 1978 Halloween movie, I was hoping that this film would revolve around Laurie Strode, being ready for Michael Myers in his return, just setting up all these, weapons and ammunitions and all these booby traps she made for Michael Myers. And now you do get scenes like that there and there, particularly in the second half, but for the most part, you don't really get much of that, and that's the one disappointing aspect of Halloween 2018. But other than that, having said all that, I did have a good time watching Halloween 2018, especially within the second half, when the confrontations between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers starts. That was when I told myself, this is what the entire movie should have been like, or should have been. The entire movie should have been about Laurie Strode preparing for Michael Myers and just preparing all these weapons she has and these booby traps just to set up for Michael Myers so that she can finally kill him once and for all. But no, the first half is entirely about the scientist and the doctor midway through this movie, and that's honestly why I said this film is not really great. I'm going to give Halloween 2018 a silver medal of honor. So anyway guys, that is my review for Halloween 2018. If you enjoyed my review, please click the like button, and if you have already seen this film, comment below and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoy what you see here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.